The Trump administration taking the fight over defending women in athletics right to the state of Maine. And this is something that I am all in favor of. The Democrats are still clinging to the absurd notion that gender is a construct and one of choice, but it's not a choice because you're born that way, but you choose to change your gender based on a feeling. And we are then to think that this means your biology aligns with your gender because then you can have men playing against women in athletics. This is bonkers level stuff. This is nuts. They believe it, or at least they go through all the motions to make us think that they believe it. And I think many of us have simply had enough. Certainly, AG Pam Bondi has had enough. She's decided, you know what? We're going to enforce civil rights for women under Title IX, and that means Maine is now in the enforcement crosshairs.
Today, the Department of Justice is announcing a civil lawsuit against the Maine Department of Education. The state of Maine is discriminating against women by failing to protect women in women's sports. Pretty basic stuff. This is a violation of Title IX. The Department of Justice will not sit by when women are discriminated against in sports. This is about sports. This is also about these young women's personal safety.
Okay, well, guess what? They're going to lose. AG Bondi is correct. They are not protecting women in sports because it is inherently dangerous for women to be exposed to pubescent, for young women, I should say, to be exposed to pubescent and post-pubescent boys/men, teenage men, 13 to 18-year-olds in contact sports of any kind. And that's not even to keep out of the discussion the non-contact sports where, whether it's tennis or whatever, where somebody is still at a massive physical disadvantage. But the ones where you can get hurt, as has happened, there's a girl who got brain damage because some guy who says he's a girl spiked a volleyball into her face so hard. Women, this is biology as well. A lot of people don't know this. Men and women differ biologically, not just by muscle density, strength, and speed, but also in their ability to take concussive force, in their ability to handle a punch. Male neck musculature. This is true, by the way. You can look this up. This is science. Male neck musculature is much stronger, and things like the sternocleidomastoid muscles, so that it stabilizes. So if you get hit in the face or if you get hit in the head, you do not take as much of the brunt of that just into the soft tissue of the brain from the concussion inside the skull. This is why it's actually bad for girls, true story, to be heading soccer balls the way that men do. Our skulls are thicker and heavier. Our neck muscles are more developed. This is all reality, okay? This is science. And the lunatic libs insist on ignoring this science. But the Trump administration has said enough is enough, which brings me to the Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, who's saying, oh, no, we're taking this fight. We're going all the way.
President Trump didn't pull any punches. He explicitly warned Maine and Governor Janet Mills that Maine would risk losing federal funding if it continued to allow males to participate in women's sports. Governor Mills chose to openly flout Title IX compliance, telling President Trump, and I'll repeat what the general said, we'll see you in court, and obviously we are going to. The Trump administration could not be any clearer to all states, sports leagues, and educational institutions. We take the violations of women's civil rights very seriously. I have 3 granddaughters, and I want to make sure that they are treated fairly and that they aren't exposed, in dressing rooms. We want to make sure that if you open women's sports or intimate facilities to males, you expose yourself to federal civil rights investigations. Governor Mills will definitely get her wish.
Okay. That is telling you exactly what's going to happen here. They're going to bring these enforcement actions, and they should, because the state of Maine is, and this is the first, I'm sure, of many of these that are going to happen. They're just wrong, and what they're doing is wrong. They're wrong on the law, but they're also ethically wrong. They should be protecting young women, young girls from this risk, which is an unfair thing to put them up against in the first place. So you have multiple problems here. You have the loss of medals, it's something like 800 medals, whether it's high school all the way up to professional level sports in recent years have been lost to trans women, men who are presenting in some way as female. So that's something that we need to be very aware of. So yes, I think it is absolutely essential that we have the administration looking into this issue, handling this issue. The madness needs to end. And I mean, just imagine for a second that it was your daughter who had a broken nose because some 6 foot tall, 180 pound, 18-year-old guy wants to be the women's field hockey champion or something and just threw an elbow or whatever, or, slapped the field puck or whatever I don't know women's field hockey because anyway. Imagine that happened to you. Imagine how outraged you would be. This is about the defense of women. This is about the defense of truth. They keep pushing this fight. We are going to meet them on this legal battlefield now. Proud of what the Trump administration is doing on this. It is absolutely correct. It is absolutely necessary. It is for our wives, daughters, granddaughters, sisters, you name it. Tariff wars, recession fears, and stubborn inflation, 3 reasons why we're seeing the price of gold routinely hitting all-time highs like it did this past Friday. And volatile markets like right now, take control and safeguard your savings by adding gold to your savings and IRA accounts. That's why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group to make that happen. They've helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against inflation and economic instability? Learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account now. Text my name, Buck, to Birch Gold at 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, text my name, Buck, to the number 989898. A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. Countless 5-star reviews. I trust Birch Gold to help me invest in gold. You can, too. I even used Birch Gold just a few weeks ago and got some gold sent right to my home. Text Buck to 989898 today. Now, on to this this issue of, I'm trying to find his name, Mr. Abrego Garcia. Mr. Abrego Garcia. He is the illegal alien adjudicated MS-13 member who has been sent out of the country. And now Judge Boasberg, the anti-Trump lunatic, is doing everything that he can to undermine Trump in whatever way he can, and I think exceeding his constitutional authority dramatically. But here's the real nuts and bolts of this. You have an illegal who is no longer in America. And Democrats, and there's no debate about whether he's an illegal, so he has no legal right to be in America. And you have Democrats now and this judge who are demanding the return of this illegal to America so that you can then deport him. I mean, here's Tom Homan talking about this one.
How do you respond to these Democratic lawmakers, including Van Hollen, who say they're going to now ask for a meeting with the president there in El Salvador? They're going to travel there and demand his release.
Well, good luck with that. Carolyn Levin is exactly right. Every time I read a story about this, it's Maryland father, Maryland father. They don't mention he's a member of MS-13, who is a designated terrorist group, one of the most violent gangs in the world. They don't mention he's an MS-13 member. They don't mention he's an El Salvadoran citizen being held by the country of El Salvador. El Salvador makes that decision. Now the courts said we got to facilitate. We'll facilitate, but El Salvador has full authority on this. Again, a terrorist threat. Now If somehow he comes back and that happens, he's going to be detained and removed again. He's an MS-13 gang member based on our intelligence and El Salvador's intelligence. He will be detained and he will be deported. But what's the sense of bringing someone back to simply go and face deportation again? He's a public safety threat. He's a gang member, and he's a designated terrorist. We should not be bringing any of those people back to the United States. That's my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, it's nuts. What happens? What's the point? Why are they trying to make us go through this? Why are they pushing this issue? Well, it's because they have to find something to gather around and let them say that Trump is terrible and Trump is Hitler and all this other stuff. Well, I think they're going to have to give up on the Trump is Hitler thing. It wasn't very persuasive to argue that Trump is Hitler in the first term. It's even less persuasive to argue it now. It's insane in both counts, but what Trump is doing is stuff that a solid majority of the American people absolutely respect and want to see more of. And this is also showing you that the system that we have does not want to deport any illegals, despite the fact that they are illegal. So the laws that are meant, this is just the reality of what goes on. The laws that are meant to stop millions of illegals from entering our country and creating further criminal issues by being in the country. Some of them are nice people who are working hard, but they're also doing Social Security fraud, and they're also, being paid off the books. And then there are others who are just straight up criminals who come into the country who are MS-13 gang members or who are doing things that are horrific. And so this is where you see the laws meant to keep the illegals out are ignored. The laws meant to be able to deport them are ignored. The only laws that somehow count are the laws to keep them here once they've entered illegally. And then they can say whatever they want. Oh, but due process and all this other stuff. No. We have laws that have been violated serially, systematically. And the laws that are supposed to prevent those violations, sorry. Those laws can't be enforced for some reason. Still on the books. The laws that say that people can be sent out of the country, no, that can't be okay either. The only law that matters is whatever they can find that makes it harder to make the person, to push the person out of the country to deport them. Those laws are sacrosanct. Something is just rotten with that system. I mean, they can argue process and procedure with me all day. They can also argue due process. There's something fundamentally wrong about this. It's a scam, and we feel the scam, right? It's like, well, if I bought something from you, if you're a store, if you're selling something, and I bought something from you, and you didn't deliver the goods, and then you demand the money from me, I would say, well, hold on a second. You have to give me first the goods, and then I'll give you the money. Then they just go, no. You just have to give me the money because that's what it says in the contract. You say, well, hold on. There's the first part of this, though. And the first part is being ignored. And they still think that we're supposed to jump to the second part. The law, as it stands, has been somehow people come into the country. They are illegal. They are not deported right away. All these decisions are made. Keep them in the country. Let them play games. Let them, delay this or not show up for that hearing and all this stuff. No punishment whatsoever, even though there are punishments on the books for this. And then we're told, hold on a second, we need, process. It's just delay to keep them here forever. And people are sick of it. People are tired of it. And it needs to end. It needs to go away. I find the whole thing to be completely, obviously unacceptable. I think it's an outrage. And I'm glad that Homan and others are taking this as seriously as they are, because this is an existential issue for the country long term. It truly is. If we don't have sovereignty, we don't have borders, this place just dissolves. It just dissolves. Now, I want to talk to you about something else. As you know, I became a father recently. I know a lot of you are already dads and moms, and so you've already experienced this. But I am so full of joy, and I have so much love in my heart for this little boy who's my son, and my wife Carrie, and we are God's love is all around us. It's just amazing. I want so many people to have this because I understand now how important it is. This is where preborn comes in because preborn is out there trying to help as many beautiful babies as possible come into this world. And they do this by helping moms who are having a crisis with the pregnancy. The crisis being, I didn't plan this. I'm getting pressure maybe. Oh, maybe I should go to a Planned Parenthood clinic. Preborn says, no. Please, please. No judgments, just love and support. Come into a preborn clinic first, and we will give you a free ultrasound. And if you choose to have this baby, preborn will do a whole lot more than that. All kinds of support, material support, counseling support, food, diapers, all kinds of stuff. Preborn is doing amazing work. And in 20 years' time, they have saved 300,000 babies in this way. When you donate to preborn, your gift provides for that initial ultrasound, which is so often the game changer. That's the moment of decision. The mom goes, oh my gosh, look at this baby inside me because of that ultrasound. $28 is the cost of the ultrasound, which you could donate each month. To donate securely, just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, say baby, or visit preborn.com/buck. That's preborn.com/BUCK. Sponsored by Preborn. Okay, and now you've got this story of the Atlanta Braves sideline reporter who asked for the phone number of this girl and the booth. And here, we can play the clip.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla, and you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my number.
I'm dead serious. They're saying in my ear right now. She doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable.
So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
I am speechless.
I got the number. We're good.
Okay, now, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. I thought that we celebrated the fun, lighthearted moment of cutesiness, romance, perhaps, or just the courage that a young man has in the moment to ask for a lady's phone number. This is the basis of social interaction between men and women, is that first, hey, I like you, will you talk to me? Now, woman always has the right to say no, or always has the right to say I have a boyfriend or a husband, or I don't like men, or whatever. Always. But a guy's got to have the right to at least ask, or else the whole thing breaks down. I thought this was America. I thought we like it when guys ask women out. And there's all these, Clay told me this, and I was like, I just couldn't believe it. There are all these people who are upset about this guy asking this woman for her phone number. It's unprofessional and all this stuff. It's not unprofessional. It was funny. Totally age-appropriate adults in public having a little back and forth. He asked for the phone number. She gives it to him. She can always ignore his calls or block them if he keeps calling, but he's not going to. Maybe this leads to a marriage and children. We need more of this in society, not less. We need more guys making the move and more people building families and having kids. We actually need to encourage that. And that moment of a guy stepping up to say to the girl that he thinks is pretty or, that he's interested in for whatever reason, hey, I would like to spend some time with you, or I would like to ask you on a date. That's the beginning. That's the first step in a very long journey. Now, most of those steps don't go anywhere, but it's got to happen. I just could not believe how many people were upset about this, how many people were freaked out about it. It makes no sense to me, except there's a lot of miserable people. Feminism is pure brain cancer. I mean, it's just the most destructive thing for so many. I mean, feminism in its current incarnation, this whatever it is, fifth wave or fourth wave. I don't know what wave we're in. Third wave feminism. But it is a complete disaster. It's a disaster for women. It's a disaster for men, for the family, for children. Also, I think the left just seeks to pathologize at some level normal male-female relations because it's something that brings us all together and that we can all smile about and think is fun and romantic. And they hate that, The state is not in charge of it. They're just a bunch of commies at their core. Anyway, whoever this guy is, the Braves reporter, congrats to him. I hope he and this girl go out, have a great date, maybe make out a little bit, and who knows where it goes from there. That's the show for today. Shields high.